We begin the next half-century of Super Bowls to a strobe of flashes. Super Bowl 51 from Houston is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out, making his third Super Bowl appearance. He was in 48 and 49. Now he's in 51. It's Russell Wilson.
So help me out with the math here. Is that 3 in 4 years?
Not too shabby for Mr. Wilson, is it?
Not at all. And this is a guy that continues to get better at his craft and really is just a tremendous leader. Players want to play hard for him and perform, and he brings up their level as well as his own.
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, Wilson. Going to Rawls on the dump off. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a third down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Finding time. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And Graham's got it over the middle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through.
And he's across the chalk, into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Thomas Rawls, a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Seahawks take the ball.
And how about how it culminated, doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Thomas Rawls who finishes it off with a touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He's got time in the pocket. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. On now the Steelers' second-year punter. This is Australian-born Jordan Berry. Doug Baldwin deep here for Seattle.
And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Jarvis Jones that time in on the stop.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. So 1 quarter down here in Super Bowl 51. It's the Seahawks on top league. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. He's got time. Great protection. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jermaine Kearse from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
It's a pickup of 19, and that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And caught, right side, Green. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now, getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Six yards to go here on second down. On second down, Wilson going to Rawls on the dump-off. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On first down, Wilson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. surveying the field. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. On third down, Wilson. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. So on fourth down, here's the Canadian-born punter, John Ryan, to kick it away for Seattle. Taken in at the 11. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. A screen to Bell. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Sammy Coates has it complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. It's a gain of 20 that time. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh 1st.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Five yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that 5-yard line. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Martavis Bryant in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the 2nd half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the 1st half.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So as the set designers rush out here to get us ready for the spectacle to come at intermission, these two teams will head to the locker room in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Seahawks offense has been on the field more, but it hasn't led to a big lead. The Steelers are competing hard, and it's still very much in doubt which side will walk away with the Lombardi Trophy. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Sticking with the same drive, he'll head up the middle on the run, and he'll take it in for the touch. Seahawks take the early lead. Seahawks lined up at the 5. Wilson's got the completion here, and he caps off the long drive with the TD. Steelers have it at the 4. The catch in traffic made by Bryant, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They had a pretty solid first half. Not many adjustments, but I guess there's probably always some adjustments that can be made.
Usually it's just tightened down on the things we've worked on all week in practice. Everyone thinks adjustments are bringing in something absolutely new. For the most part, it's tweaks or just emphasizing what you've worked on already. And that's what they're planning to do here in the second half.
They won't be looking to reinvent the wheel. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third down, Roethlisberger. He finds Coates complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to complete this to the veteran, D'Angelo Williams. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They'll come out in the pistol. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
On second down, Rawls. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They go play action here on first down. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 20 yards on the pickup there. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. I give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 1 quarter remains. It's Super Bowl 51. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final. They go read option with Wilson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Second down, goal to go from the 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Play clock winding down. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back.